Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. Welcome to I Am the Change. I am Michelle Kelly. I'm actually Michelle Simon Kelly, and Kelly is my last name. And one of the reasons why I kept it for so long is because it was the first time in my life I had the same last name as my son, Angelo, because we both had two different last names when he was born. And when I married my ex-husband, we both had the same last name. And that's why I have kept my married name. And I'm now divorced. I think it's almost 10 years. I think we were officially divorced in 2014. But I'm divorced almost 10 years and I still have my married name, and I'm thinking about getting rid of it and going back to Michelle Simon. And so I've been known as Michelle Kelly for like a really long time, and it was nice not being Michelle Simon for a while. I think I just didn't want to be that person anymore. And when I got my married last name, I felt like it sounded better. I had my son's last name. We matched because my ex-husband adopted my son, Angelo. So anyway, I'm telling you guys that because there's a story to all that. But how I originally got started was in 2019. I started this as my New Year's resolution, stating out loud I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video. And I'm, almost at the end of the 4th year, 2024, I will be starting year 5, which is a miracle. And, you guys, I never edit my videos. I try and do the first one and just put it out there because I am being my true, real, authentic self. And I don't want to have it perfect. Sometimes I re-recorded because I couldn't remember when I was on medicine the past couple of months on this new medicine, I couldn't talk right. And today I recited that all by myself. I didn't even look at anything before it, so I'm getting better. I also stated out a New Year's resolution every year since. So if you want to see, please go back on YouTube. It's under Michelle Simon Kelly, I Am the Change. It's on Instagram and it's on Facebook. So anyway, my New Year's resolution for this year was not to weigh myself every single day. And I was weighing myself every other day, and then finally I put the scale away. Then I took it back out. Then my girlfriend gave me this thing to write a letter to the scale, which I did not do yet. But last week I told you guys I was going to start journaling and writing down my food again because I've been so sick with this CRPS type 2 that I got diagnosed with a little over a month ago. So I've been dealing with that, getting on all kinds of new nerve medicines, and I'm now on this Lyrica. I think it's pregabalin, I'm saying it. It's the generic of Lyrica, and my depression is starting to come back, and my, not wanting to get out of bed in the morning and not wanting to shower and just want to stay in my pajamas all day and not go out, which is so not like me because I'm a very social, upbeat person. The way you guys see me is how I am all the time, even out. Like I love people and I love being around people. So the fact that I have days where I don't go out of my house at all, which is so not like me. I'm learning this medicine isn't good for me either. So I have to find another way. And I think my way is going to be holistic, because every single medicine I've been on has such bad side effects. Like, it does the job it's supposed to do, but I get 3 or 4 side effects from them that the side effects are worse than what it's helping me do, you know. And when I'm one way, I'm like, oh, I'd rather be the other way. But then when I'm the other way, I'm like, oh, I'd rather be that way. So it's just, I can't live like I have an X-ray cape on top of me all the time. It's just physically draining. So I was talking in the beginning about my last name. And the reason why I was telling you about the whole last name thing was because I was talking to a friend last night. One of my New Year's resolutions was not this year. It was, I think it was last year, to attach an income to what it is that I do. And I've been trying to find out what is my vocation. And I never knew what a vocation was, but a vocation is like your job from God. It's like, why are we here on this earth job? And my one girlfriend told me, you know, when you're young, you have jobs, and then you have a career. And then when you get out of your career, you usually step into your vocation. And it's a lot of people's like side hustle. They started off as a side hustle, and then it turns into their job, and they end up leaving their job. So it's kind of like, if you guys have a side hustle going on, usually that's your vocation. And so I stepped into my vocation in 2019 when I was into this car accident. I don't want to say I stepped into it. I was transitioning into my vocation. So last night, and I've been, you know, trying to attach an income to what it is that I do. And I'm in 3 12-step programs, which I work all 3 of them. And it is a full-time job. And what I've realized is, you know, a lot of these things, the people who seem to want to hear what I have to say and hear me the most and are listening to me are usually in a 12-step program. And because they're open to what I am talking about, and not that you have to be, but it seems like those are the people who are influenced the most by what I have to say. So anyway, so I found out people in a 12-step program are my audience. Like, you have to find all these things out. And I guess the scary part for me was to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong, and I don't want to make a mistake, and I want to do it when I decide what my vocation is. I want to do it perfectly, and I'd rather not do anything unless I have it perfectly. And it's a process, like everything is, like being on the medicine and finding out it's not right for you, like me breaking up with fear, shame, and guilt and thinking it was just going to automatically disappear because I said it, and it doesn't. And just putting my scale away was just going to do it, and I wasn't going to want to bring it back again. So I did start journaling, keeping a record of my food. And what I realized is it's very important to keep a record of things, to write things down, and not only to physically write things down. Like, I want to say, I don't want to tell people how to do it, because some people do it in their phone, on their iPad, however you do it. But I think there is something about taking pen to paper and getting it out of your body. But I think as long as you just get it out of your body, that definitely helps. Releasing your story, releasing what's going on in you, even if you're not able to share it with anybody else. But it's also a record to keep track of if something isn't going right for you, or you are having side effects from a certain medicine. Then if you have a record book of, I took this and this is what's happened, a lot of times I would go back to the doctors and I would have them talk me into taking something that I knew didn't work for me. Because I'm like, oh, they're the doctor, they know better than me. And I'll try it again. And then I'm like, no, this is why I didn't take it the last time. But I would forget, because whenever I'm not in it, I forget. It's like my brain, every night when I go to sleep, it gets put back to factory settings. And every day I have to reactivate it. You don't drink, Michelle. You don't do drugs anymore, Michelle. You don't eat sugar, flour, wheat, or caffeine anymore, Michelle. And you need to come up with a plan of how to have a defense to protect yourself from all of these in your surroundings and what can you do if that comes your way. So, anyway, so I'm just learning all this stuff like everybody else. And so a great friend of mine last night said, Michelle, you're a producer. I'm like, a producer? What does a producer do? And I've been putting together workshops, outlines, and he's like, you're a writer. I'm like, oh, well, okay, I'm a writer. And I'm like, I am. I don't know why I think me writing stuff down and journaling every day and organizing these workshops, I'm not a writer. But he said being a producer, he was telling me about a producer. I'm like, okay, I'm a producer. So he gave me this like mission statement, and I'm going to read it to you guys. And I don't have my glasses in here, and I hope I can do it. But I can help you produce the results that you need in order to make your presentation successful. So I, Michelle Simon, can help you produce the results you need in order to make your presentation successful. So I thought that was a great, I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for giving that to me, because I can do that and I know I can do that. So I can help your presentations be more successful. And, you know, because I am like Julie, the cruise director, I can put fun into your events. I can put music. I can put pauses in there so you can take a break, so you don't have to cram a whole lot of material into a short amount of time. And because you're afraid people can't pay attention. If you keep things active, enjoyable, and engageable, people will make time for you and they'll want to hear what you have to say and listen. And so that's what I'm learning about all of this stuff. But he's like, Simon Says, you could be Simon Says. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, because I remember Simon Says, but really, I don't want to be Simon Says. I want to be Simon Does. Because not only, oh, well, how about Simon Says and Does? Because I would never ask somebody to do or tell somebody to do something that I'm not already doing. So Simon Says and Does. So I think that is going to be how I'm going to do it. Simon Says and Simon Does. And sometimes talking out loud with these videos, this is where God speaks to me through me. And sometimes I just need to hear myself say it. So thank you to everyone who's watching. This is your sign signing off. Please stay safe, stay tuned, and I'll see you all next week. And I got invited to go to Texas, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that next week. So I will see you next week.